Hello, good morning, welcome. I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming. We are jumping into Watcher Realm, so grab yourself a cuppa. We're going back into the Tower of Deception. It's getting a little trickier now. We're not epics only, but we'll sort of break down the fights and we're doing as easy as we can, okay? So we'll bring sort of types of heroes and you can sort of fill out which type that is for you. So we'll do like tanks you need here and that sort of thing. You can bring the sort of ones that you want. Okay, right. I'm going to do 16, 17, 18... and 19, and then we've got Hidden Chamber, that's on a separate one, and the boss at the moment I'm only 1 star in, but we'll have a look to see if we can improve that. Okay, right, let's jump into it. So stage 16, we're already at 800, so what do we need for this fight? You need a couple of tanks, so for me I'm going for our 2 normal tanks, or 2 cheapest tanks, are nice epic tanks. I mean, they're good tanks, so there's no reason why you can't use them. So we're using those. After that, I'm taking a couple of fighters. They are absolutely fantastic if you want to use them. Assie's also good here. We'll take a ranged fighter. I think there's more ranged fighters than there are invisibility champions. So we'll take her. We want a pair of healers. We've taken those, and then some archers to do some damage in there as well, and then sort of a spare slot really on anyone else you fancy. So we'll stick Hattie in, and we'll just sort of show where she can be placed, and that is about it. Right, let's jump into the run. Right, so this is what we've got. We've got them coming from here as well. So let's get me out of the way. Right, that's probably a good space for me to be out of the way. So yeah, we've got them coming out here first, and then we are just going to put our fighters down to start with. Now, once we've got those out of the way, we can then start looking at expanding out. So there we go. There's our fighters down. Next one we're waiting on a healer, so we can place a healer down so they don't get too overdone, too overrun. So we're just fire off the ultimates as and when we can. We can get rid of the mobs we've got coming through and give ourselves some breathing space. And now we've got some healers down. So we've got healers, we've got our DPS going, and we've blocked the mobs from going anywhere. So we're in a good place at the moment. If you've got some cheaper tanks, that's probably better. But that's about it really. That's a nice start to the fight. So now we've got our mobs coming around. Now these are going to shoot fire at you. They've got little like fireballs they shoot at you. So as soon as there is a space available in front of Sun Wukong, we're going to stick down our tank. As soon as they kill off that clone, there we go. Right, there we go. We get that tank down there as the target. We've got our other tank up there. There we are. And we'll just fire off ultimates when we can. There we go, and sit back and have a cup of tea. And then we just want our other healer coming up as well, so we can get our other healer up on time. There we go, that will alleviate some of the issues for us. I'm missing sort of a bit of range to take out these 2 mobs, so if you're stronger than me or your fighters reach further, then you might have a better time with it. The next one I'm going to put down, sort of the next couple, you can either go sort of a Hattie here with some invisibility. That's a good shout. I've got a nice ranged fighter here. That's going to be nice for me, so I can sort of come across if any more mobs come out the top part. So you know, sort of just play to the strengths of your account more than anything else. Next we've got more mobs coming out. They're not particularly difficult. I've got Silas up there ready to go. There we are. You already see we're on 20 out of 28. We're doing, I think, remarkably well. Silas's ultimate's up and running. We can trigger that off, and that's it for deployment really. That's pretty much it. A couple of tanks to stop everyone coming through, and then it's just a matter of DPSing them down. If you're better off with ranged, go for it. There we are. Last couple now. There we are. All done and dusted. There we are. Day 16 cleared. I'm pretty much using the same team again, only I've swapped out our 2 tanks for any old marksman. realistically. So any marksman you like. I mean, put an Idril in there, shall we? Let's take out you. We'll put in an Idril. There we go. We'll go that way. That's nice and easy. It's sort of any marksman you need, and it's just sort of a bit of belt and braces type stuff. So we're going with the same startup as we did last time. Getting our tanks out, getting our fighters out to start with. They're going to start nuking down the mobs for us, and then as soon as we can, we'll get up our healer as well. So there we go. 2 fighters are down. There we are. If you need to, you might have to, depending on how your fighters go, you might have to give them the fighter amulet to give you that extra block. Now, something you do need to notice, just on the very bottom there, we've got a mob coming through. Just about see him. He's not particularly well covered where Hattie's got it, and there we go. There we are. Right. So, just a little word of warning for you there. They do try and sneak past, and they're quite camouflaged as they run down here. So once we've got that one out of the way, we're then waiting on the top. We can already see we've got a mob coming out the top there, and we are just waiting on getting our Osiris up there, ready to go. Quick fire, and we can sort of get this down before it gets too much for us. There we go, gone. And then the next one coming across is one of these camouflage floating things again, but they're just out of range of Silas. It's sort of one tile across there really, but got our next marksman up there, and we should be able to kill it off. No, not too many issues. There we are, and we're still alive. That is a strike down our wood elf, give ourselves some healing, and that's us done. There we are. We're mostly now set up in a good place. Wait for our next healer. There we go. There's another healer for us. Trigger off some ultimates with our fighters. And there we are. Trigger off Silas as well, just to be nice. Do have to worry about is keep an eye on Hattie. She's still dealing with these mobs coming down. Okay, so we'll stick an Idril up behind her as well, just to help her out. Try and make sure we don't go run. We are top, firing off again. These little camouflaged mobs can be so annoying. Quite often you can find out that all of a sudden nothing's happening, and then you've lost, and it's just to do with the fact that one of these little things has actually crept past. This is why we've got some extra marksmen just to put up behind Hattie there. Yeah, she's out of range for healing. It's no great shakes. There are. We can put up our next healer, our next marksman if we wanted to. You get it. It's all good. There we are. Day 17 done for it. Okay, let's jump into stage 18 now. Let's get this done. So if we go and have a quick look at the guide here. So map info. Quick one to note is that defense and magic resistance are the same. Defense lower, the same. So preference would be to bring archers over magic, but I mean, you're not going to be, if you've got an Ingrids and your Popes and that sort of stuff, it's not going to be too bad for you, but bear in mind you are going to want some form of piercer damage as well, so that's quite nice for you. Again, some of the old light armour, so we're getting that bonus damage as well. Now, what do we need for our fight? Well, we're going to need a couple of tanks again. Now, definitely want to bring tanks, and we'll explain that as we go through the fight. Okay, so there's 2 tanks. Preference would be cheaper, and then after that you want a couple of fighters. So if you can get some AoE fighters, so I'm going to take her. She's absolutely fantastic for the AoE fighter side of things. That's going to be brilliant for us, but don't feel shy if you just bring your normal fighters. After that you're going to need some archers. Absolutely brilliant. We'll chuck those in. Oh, we need some healing as well, so we best put healers along with us. A healer with a nice width. You want a breadth of ability to be able to do it. So the wider sort of healers like this, like your vortexes and your hollows, that sort of range there you really want, and we'll see that when it comes into play. Maybe we can take you. Do we need 2 healers? Maybe we do. And then after that, what do I need? maybe another archer. And who shall I take as an additional archer? We haven't had any playtime with Nyx, so let's take in Nyx, and I think that would do us. Let's jump in. So I'll sort of explain the fight as we're going along. So the first one we're going to put down is I'm going to put down my archer. I'm going to use Ivar down to start with, and I'm going to place him down here. He's got this nice long range where he's going to come over and cover off this tile set here. And we don't have to worry about anything at the start. Those mobs are on a timer, and this mob doesn't hit platform base. You coming through. Oh, I am right in the way here, aren't I? Let's move me probably over here is going to be better. There we go. Right. And then what we're waiting on now is we are waiting on our tank coming online. So as soon as we've got one of our tanks to come up, we're going to put our tank down here. There we are. And there's our tank done. And then the next thing we're waiting on, there's a space behind our tank defender, and that's where we're going to put down our fighter who's reaching over the top. Again, AoE is probably better, but it doesn't have to be. You can get away with it not being AoE, but I just find it easier if it is. It just makes your life a little easier, and that's what we're about. So the next set of mobs coming out, they're coming out on the bottom right there. Now they are going to hit our platform-based units, but with an exception. If we're quick enough. There. We put a tank down. For some strange reason, they then hit the tank. They ignore the bloke on the platform throwing swords at them. Right there. And they hit the defender for some strange reason. There we go. Hopefully our defender will live. That would be nice if he does. And then we can put our... Ooh, not you. There we can get you covered off by the healer. There we are. And now our life is pretty good again. Unfortunately now our man with the swords has decided to not hit the person throwing the flaming sticks at us. He's gone somewhere else entirely, but it is what it is. Now it's just a matter of trying to get some more DPS up there as well to cover ourselves off. So we've got Silas up there. He's going to do great for us coming across. Hopefully that'll be enough, but we'll sort of see how it goes. Now, one thing to note with those mobs coming through, let's just quick look at this. There they are there. Yeah, it strikes, send out devastating shockwaves and leaves enemies stunned. So remember, if your defender is stunned and you don't have a fighter or someone else behind them, they can walk past. Okay, so just a quick note there for you to be wary of. That's why you want to at least have a fighter down there as well, because when they come through and stun you, it makes life at best awkward. Reach all the way over there. That'd be quite nice if we can. Oh, Silas is going to do it anyway. Fantastic, there we go. That's all. I got a feeling Nyx will be dead soon anyway, so as soon as we get some more mobs coming out, Nyx will be dead, but does have this fantastic AoE going on for us, so that's all good. There we go. Nyx is now being targeted. It's not great shakes. There we are. Now we can use our Ivar again because they're not attacking him for some strange... I don't know why it is, but I am pleased they don't. Just waiting on the timer for you as well, so... Come on. Slowly walk past. Now the issue is, as he's killed, our marksman, we think, gotta wait. Got to wait for our marksman to be available so we can get a marksman turned around and get onto him, which is a bit of a blow, but there you go. It is what it is. Don't see it being an issue, and if our marksman had lived, it would have made life a little easier for us. You're not going to reach there, are you? Wonder if you'll turn round. No, it doesn't. You will. There we are. This is it, nice slow going at the end. You should surrender. Should have just had done with it. There we are. That's it, stage 18's done, okay? Nice and easy for us. Remember those tanks, they will target the ground-based units, not the platform, so that's quite handy to know. Okay, right, jumping on. Okay then, stage 19, let's jump into this then. So what do we want? We want some single target damage dealers. So we've picked Ivar and we've picked Silas, and really good single target damage dealers. We've got those. The next thing we need is we want some AoE, so I stuck with marksman AoE, but you don't have to. Using Kai because he's absolutely fantastic and it is fun to watch him. It is fun to watch him. It's almost like this was designed for him. Nyx is also very good, so we'll take her as well. Hattie's down there because, well, she's fantastic. She does sort of single target and AoE. She's got that nice combination going on. We're going to need a healer, so we're taking up a healer that can stretch across the map, okay? And it's got a nice breadth of healing as well, so we've got that going on for us as well. And then pick up you want someone who can do some slows for you, because that's going to help you out as well, okay? So we've got someone who can do a slow. Then after that we want to fill our next slot with sacrificial lamb, I suppose, for want of a better description. We'll take Eloin, she can be a sacrificial lamb, that's not an issue. And then that leaves you 2 spaces. You can do anything you like with these 2 spaces. Take some tanks, chuck in some Lord bonus for you, more freeze and slows, a bit more AoE depending on what you need. But we jump into the fight like this and you can sort of see how it pans out. So Kai is our first one down. He's absolutely fantastic for this. Select auto karting because I want his ultimate to go off as quickly as possible. And then I'm going to put Hattie down. There goes his ultimate. Absolutely brilliant. It doesn't have to be hats down there. You can put down any marksman you like. A combination of single target and AoE is helpful, but it's not a necessity for us. Okay, now next going down is Mary. We'll want some slows going down. It makes my life a lot easier. You can use anyone you like there for a slow. It's not a major issue. There are some great slow champions out there, or AoE damage dealers as well, so don't feel like you're restricted, Mary, at all. Please go for whoever is best on your account. Now we've got Silas coming up next. Now top and bottom, we're going to have those little camouflaged flying skulls that are going to come along. Alright, so they're going to be going across the top and the bottom of the map, coming down. The issue is at the top part, they also come along with a ground-based unit. So if you haven't got a healer up, if you don't have someone who prioritises airborne units, they will attack the ground-based unit before the airborne unit is dead. It just makes your life much harder. So there we go, we get Ivar down now. Well, then we're leaving Mary's ultimate to the last minute when he starts moving. There we go. And we can trigger off Mary's ultimate. Now that's good news because it will catch all of these as well. And then again, when Kai's up and running, boom, you just hit that straight off and watch everything explode. It's absolutely fantastic. So there we are, and we can trigger. Now I'm going to put Nyx because she stretches across all the way. Now the other thing to watch out for now is I'm going to trigger off Silas's, and then if need be I will trigger off Ivar's as well. Right, now let's draw a pause here. That's the top row done. So you can now pull back, in my case, Silas and Ivar if you want. And those 2 spare slots can go into some more AoE damage or some tanks or that sort of thing. So what we've got coming up now is I'm going to place down my sacrificial lamb. These, they will now target and do a ranged attack, but it's not an issue because because I've got my sacrificial lamb there to actually take the shot for me. But feel free to use a tank, or feel free to put some more AoE damage down there, that sort of thing, because you can recall your Silas and you can recall your Ivar as well. So there's a lot more freedom that you've got. Everyone's ultimate is pretty much up ready to go now, and it's just this last wave. These are the 2 hardest ones in this last wave, but again, it shouldn't be a major issue. So as soon as Nyx starts, we can start going over there. We'll start there. And there we go, we can get the freezers off and running. There we are. And now it's just a bit of a nuke fest to actually get everyone down and killed. So there's plenty of room there for, I'll say error for want of a better description, but there we go. That's it done. There's quite a bit more wriggle room with this, but mostly it's making sure you've got enough AoE damage to get that sorted out for yourself. Okay, so that's it done. There we go. We've done 16, 17, 18 and 19. Link for the hidden chamber is down below. I can only 1-star this at the moment. There'll be a video out on 1-starring it, and if you want to go for that, remember you only have to clear it before you can go on it. Right, so that's me done for today on this video. Thank you very much for your time. If you leave me a little thumbs up, like and subscribe, would help me out massively. I'll see you all in the video again soon. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers. Goodbye.